I have been getting comments for years saying how weird my French tip method is, but no matter how weird it seems, it works every time. So I'm going to give you a tutorial for my method on how I do French tip nails. I've never seen anybody else on the planet do it this way, so if you swear you tried every single method and nothing still works for you, this might change that. So first things first, I put the tip on the nail stand. You might be thinking, well, duh, obviously, what's the first step? That is the first step. I use this as a guideline to be able to tell where I'm starting my French tip. Make sure you prep the nail first. I use this chemical etcher from A-Press. If you didn't switch from base coat to this, what are you doing? Go ahead and switch. It makes your life so much easier. You don't have to physically buff the nail with a nail file. You just lay down this chemical etcher and that's it. You don't even need a base coat. This product is linked in my Amazon storefront under application. It is a little bit pricey, but I think it's worth it because it saves so much time. You're going to need 2 colors for this French tip, obviously. I'm using Blindfold from Blue Sky and Mushroom White from Blue Sky. Using your nude color, you're going to start from the guideline that we created with the nail stand. You want to use the skinny side facing up instead of the fat side facing up, since this is the area of the nail that will have the tightest curve. Once you make that dot, you can just go down the middle of the nail, and then imagine kind of a triangular shape where you're connecting the highest point you just made to the bottom corners of the nail. For this step, I recommend getting as much excess nail polish off of your brush as possible, otherwise it tends to be harder to control. Don't worry about the polish being slightly see-through like mine is if yours isn't as opaque, because we can do more layers and the layers after this are much easier. The most important part is just making sure this step is symmetrical, and even if your lines are a little wonky, that's okay because we can fix it later. Now the hard part is out of the way, because all you have to do is basically trace these lines you just created with the other gel polish you want to use. I like to start with just adding some polish on the tip, and then I follow the lines, still using the brush that the nail polish came with. I know most, if not all people, like to use fine liner brushes to do French tips, which makes sense, so you can get that detail. However, those tiny little brushes take forever to fill in the space, whereas using this brush, you just need 1 or 2 swipes and you're done. As you can see, my lines are not like completely perfect, but like I said before, we will fix that in this next step. And that step is basically just adding more layers. My polish isn't that opaque, so I have to do this anyways, but it also helps clean up your lines. Since we already have the first layer down there, it's way easier to just trace what you already see, and it just adds more definition to what you already have on the nail. I already did my second layer of the nude color off camera, so this is my final look. I hope this tutorial was simple enough to understand. It might be hard at first, but like anything, you get good with practice. Feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments or request more tutorials, and I'll see you on Friday where I am doing a market prep vlog.